Here with Tim Rattay, talking about the outside receivers. When you first got here, and you watched film from what was leaving from last year and what was returning, I mean, what was your first thought?
My first thought was we have a lot of guys that have opportunity. You know, when you lose that much production with the guys that were here last year, obviously they did a great job with Pat and Miles and the other guys, but I just thought it was a great opportunity for the guys that were here. The DJ Banks, the Richie Cases, Jakari Jackson. Those guys now have an opportunity to step up and play. And that's what I think. Everyone needs opportunity, and it's all about seizing that opportunity when you get it. So I was excited for those guys. You could see it in their eyes, and when you talked to them, that they were excited about the opportunity.
Speaking of those three guys particularly, those are probably the three that have really stepped up the most in what I've seen so far in camp. What have been your thoughts on those three players?
They've been playing great. You know, DJ's always does the right thing, always hustles, always gives his effort. Richie's the same way. Richie's a technician. He does everything right. Jakari's been a great surprise to our camp. He didn't go through spring with the wrist injury. He worked hard to get back, and after the first couple of days, after he got the rust off, he's really exploded these last 10 days or so in camp.
When you watched the film of DJ Banks in the first fall scrimmage, he came away with a touchdown catch that probably would have made top 10 had it been a real game. Toe taps the end zone turf before falling out of bounds. What makes a player like him be able to do something like that?
Well, that was kind of our big emphasis on the spring. You know, he does a great job running routes and blocking, and he knows what to do, and he gets in and out of his breaks. We just asked him to make some more plays down the field, and he worked hard in the summer to do that, and it's showing now that when that ball's in the air deep, he's going up and get it.
Richie Casey's a guy that's battled injury after injury, finally has a chance and now has his 6th year, able to really be a leader. What have you seen from him on and off the field?
Well, Richie's he's just the rock. I mean, he does everything right. He's such a good technician with what he does. He takes pride in what he does. He works at it. When you coach him, he tries to get better. Whenever you coach him, he tries to do what you ask him to do. And he's just a solid guy in our room, does everything right, and then those young guys can really watch him and DJ do it and learn from them.
What has been the most surprising thing for you in your position group so far this camp?
Not so much surprising. Just the guys they're coming out to practice every day. They're putting in the effort. They're watching film. They're getting better. Their effort is tremendous. Each day, each practice, it gets hard, but they push through it. And there's a really good group to coach.
When you were watching film from last year's team, you know, when you played here, you had some pretty good teams and pretty good guys you were throwing to. How did maybe your last 2 years here compare with what you saw from last year's squad?
Oh, I had some great players, obviously. I had some great players that I played with, but we got a good group here, and we're pretty deep. And we got a bunch of guys that are going to play, and they're all practicing well. I'm excited about this group. I'm excited to go out there at NC State and throughout the year to watch those guys make plays.
All anyone talked about last year was Quentin Patton and Miles White, and you're talking about the depth on this team. Where are these guys coming from?
Well, it's just guys getting opportunities. You know, DJ and Richie have played a little bit. Jakari didn't play as much the last couple of years, but he's getting an opportunity. All these guys have opportunity to now get 40 to 50 snaps a game. And I think they embraced it, they work hard, and they're ready to take advantage of it.
How much of the technical teaching of just the basic fundamentals of the game have you had to really teach these guys in camp so far?
Well, that's kind of with our outside receivers. That's what we drill the most. You know, our guys are, you know, we really work the technique of those guys outside. You know, we have a handful of routes that they run, and we got to get good at those routes against every different coverage. So we work hard on the technical part. And again, they bought in. They're trying to get better each day. If I ask them to try something, they'll go out and try it and work at it. And that's been the fun part of it is trying to get better. We've gotten a ton better from the spring till now, and I think we've got a ton better since the beginning of fall camp till now. So I'm excited about the group.